if you want to see how I got this look using Pat McGrath's brand new Mothership number 9 Huetopian Dream, then stay tuned. Okay, we are going to start with the colour Shockwave, and that is this magnificent coral shade here. So let's get in with that one. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to pat it all over my lid to start with. Now I've actually done my other eye, so I've got a good idea of how these colours work in terms of how they build, etc, etc. And for me to get the kind of opacity that I wanted with this one, I did have to build it up for quite a while. I'd say a good 30-40 seconds. There we go, look at that. It's actually a bit quicker on this eye. Interesting. Nice, look at that. It's your usual Pat McGrath feel, texture. It's going on really easily. And I've used my normal base, so I've just used the ABH primer and then I've gone over that with my Pinoise. So I'm always going to do things the way I normally do things because that's how I'm going to do things when I use it. Okay, I'm happy with that. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take a smaller brush. Now I'm going to take a large brush and we're going to go in with the shade Extreme Plum Noir. Now that is the deepest shade in the palette. It's actually this shade right here. I think for a deep shade it's actually one of the lighter ones that Pat does. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to go in with it here. That's my P. Louise. I did a cut crease on the other eye, so it's kind of stuck there. And I don't want to go too dark with it. I like the fact that it's not too deep a colour because obviously we're used to having a black or a really deep plum. Look at that. Look at that gradient. God. We're going to just try and keep it here. Make sure we pat it across and then just kind of buff it up and drag forward. Now I'm going to just go back ever so slightly. I'm going to put the original shade a bit back because I've lost it a little bit. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Happy with that? Okay, so we've cut the crease now. We're going to go in with Blitz Sextreme, which is this lovely kind of duochrome. I don't think it's picking it up there though, but it is a duochrome right there. I think you can see the shift more. There we go, you can see it going green to kind of a brown kind of colour. Well, that is what is going on next. So, I'm going to put that on the edge of my cut crease. It's just there. Look at that. This is a really nice colour. And so far, I've not had to wet my brush or anything. So that's just a side note. I noticed when I did the other side, there was no need to wet the brush. Take it right up. Look at this colour. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. I do think because I cut the crease, you're going to be able to see the colour's just that much better. And the colour uses, wow, 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 wow. Wow, look at that. And take it all the way up to the line so we can soften it. That is gorgeous. Okay, cool. Next we're gonna go in with Cosmic Bloom, and she is this pink, there we go. She's this pink shade here. Beautiful. I wanna get her more or less all over my eye. So I'm gonna put her here. I'm using a smaller brush because I want more control on this shade as well. See these colours, they're beautiful. I mean, wow. Okay, let's try that again. I'm gonna add a bit more. Look at that, they contrast really well. Very complementary. I shouldn't even say they're a contrast, they're extremely complementary. I'm gonna bring that a little bit more forward because I want you to be able to really see that shade. And because the brush is so small, I can be really exact. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that, it's just beautiful. Next, I'm going to go in with the colour Astral Venusian Orchid, which is this beautiful shade right here. And what I'm going to do, because I really wanted to just test out a few shades, is I'm going to go back over this shade. Not all the way, but just a little. Back over this shade so we can see what it do. Let's see. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera, but I'll put some more on so we can really see what's going on here between these two colours. Look at that. That is stunning. It is dropping on my cheek though, just an FYI, but that is beautiful. This is giving me Christmas vibes for sure. Gorgeous. I'm going to use now Astral Amethyst Moon, which is this purpley colour here. This one right here. And I'm going to put that in like the inner corner. I can't bother to change my brush, but that's what she looks like. Oh, that's what she looks like. Don't be like me, don't do all your makeup first. Look, wowzers. And I know I've gone ham with the colours. I wouldn't normally put on this many colours. Actually, I might if it was like Christmas and I'm going to a Christmas party and I want to be a disco ball. But look, that is beautiful. I'm going to take it up a little bit and pat it into place. That's gorgeous. It's actually flipping beautiful. But I want to use one more shade. So we are going to use Skin Show Nude Ecstasy, which is this lovely shade here. Is it picking it up? There we go. And I'm going to put that on my inner corner area because I just think it's a nice finisher to give it a sheen and then kind of tone it down a little bit as well. Nice. All right, I'm going to wrap it up and then we'll get my final thoughts on a new palette. And here's the final look. Let's zoom out and discuss it. Okay, so the palette. Is it worth getting? Actually, let's go back. Let's take it back a step. Let's talk about it as an individual standalone palette before we discuss it in terms of the 9 other palettes, okay? So as a standalone palette, it's gorgeous. This shade here is beautiful. This shade, all 4 of these shades are stunning, but actually, so is this one right here. This is so beautiful. As a standalone palette, I'm going to be completely honest here. If it wasn't Pat McGrath, I'm not sure this would entice me enough to buy it. Now hear me out. As a woman of colour, these shades, aside from these 4, let's just cover these up. These shades probably wouldn't be enough to make me buy it. Pat McGrath Special shades are the reason I trust her, even when I see lighter colours. Because of her formula and because of her special shades, I trust that they'll show up on me. And I guess because she's a woman of colour as well, maybe she tries it on herself, we don't know. But if I'm going to be completely honest, it's the trust I have in the brand that allows me to pick up a palette that my heart is screaming is too light for me, and then get it and be like, ah, it works. I mean, look at this. It worked beautifully. It picked up beautifully. I do feel like if you're the kind of person who likes an easy everyday look, I mean, you can get that with this, but it just means that you probably wouldn't be touching these 2 shades because these are like glitter, 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 glitter. I mean, to me, I feel like a Christmas bauble and I love it. It's a beautiful palette. There isn't any shade in there that was a dud. The only one that was, I wouldn't want to call it a dud, but it didn't swatch very well, is Secret Eden. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Secret Eden, which is this kind of peachy shade here. That one, it looks beautiful on the eye, but it doesn't swatch beautifully. But I'm used to that with her lighter shades. They do kind of go on a bit, you almost have to pat them on as opposed to swipe them on, but that's not the norm. But on the eye, beautiful. Now let's talk about it in the lineup. So what we're going to do now is we're going to insert, I'm going to show you every single palette in the range just so you can see comparisons. So for me personally, palettes 1 to 4 stand alone on their own. There's very few similarities that would prevent me from being able to buy the palettes. So 1 to 4, it's a wrap, fine, we'll stick that, park it. 5 and 6, again, you could probably get away with them being just different enough in terms of color story that, yep, justified for the purchase. If you have 1 to 6 and you're looking at 9. Right, the problem starts 7 and 8. This palette feels like an accompanying palette. And by that I mean there's so many similarities, not same, similar. Prime example, so let's look at the duochrome in the Divine Rose 2. So we've got the duochrome here. And I want to show it to you just like this. Okay, so you've got your hot pink, you've got your maroon. There's almost like a formula to this kind of thing that they do. Your hot pink, your maroon, and your duochrome. Then you've got your gold, and it just feels like formulaic. Likewise, if you go into the new one, you got your hot pink, you got your duochrome, you got your gold. It's starting to feel a little bit formulaic. The difference here is the deepening shade isn't as deep, and it depends on your preference. I don't mind, but it does depend on your preference. Now let's go to the multi-chromes or duochromes as it were. So as you can see, there's one, as you can see, and this is one above it. Now I'm going to swatch them for you, okay? I'm going to show you again one more time side by side. The duochromes. So they are opposite each other, okay? One more time. And then I'm going to swatch them for you. They're nice, and the tones are slightly different. This is more of a greeny shift. This one's got green inflex as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch them now on the back of my hand. Okay, so we've got the first one there. It's a beautiful, absolutely stunning shade. And I'm going with the other one. Right there. Again, beautiful, stunning. But are they actually that different? Are they actually that different? If you're a pat connoisseur like me, you're going to find the minute differences. But on the eye, if I put one colour here and one colour here, would they look different? That's the question, and I'm not entirely sure they would. I think if I didn't tell you they were different on my eye, you might not know. Now, okay, so my final thoughts on the palette. Is it lush? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, look at that. It's a beautiful palette, and I wasn't going to have any gaps in my collection, so I was always going to pick it up. Do you need it? No. If you have palettes 1 to 6, then yeah, sure, pick it up. If you skipped Divine Rose 1, pick it up. If you've got Divine Rose 2, which is a little bit more closer, you might want to think about it. And I'm saying that as a stan. The formula is great. The application was fantastic. If you're going to use the glittery shades, don't be like me. Do your makeup after. I'm a stan, okay? I was always going to buy it. The 9th palette. I'm going to get the 10th, I'm going to get the 11th. Unless the quality dips, I'm always going to get them. I mean, look at me. I love seeing all these black palettes lined up on my bed. They're beautiful. There's an aesthetic about it. But if I wasn't a stan, but I loved makeup, and I had Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2, I might not be inclined to buy this one. Just being perfectly transparent. But that said, quality-wise, fantastic. I have no doubt that in terms of longevity on the eyes, it will be absolutely fine because that's just a standard for her. And I've enjoyed it. I've had a fantastic time using it. Do I need it? I mean, you don't need any makeup, to be honest with you. I have it now, so I'm happy I have it. If I didn't buy it, would I cry? Maybe not. Maybe not. But for me, I wanted every palette she puts out, I'm gonna buy it. That's just a fact. Am I gonna love every single one? Not necessarily, but every palette she puts out, I'm gonna buy it. But on this one, the palette is fantastic, okay? The palette is a great buy. But if you've got 1 to 8, you might just want to think about it. But I've got it, so okay, so that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, please subscribe, please share if you care, and I will see you in the next one. Listen, I am mad. I'm glad I have this palette, okay? I'm gonna go and sleep with it tonight. Yes. But yeah.